Hi, I'm Steve Rasmussen, CEO and General Manager at Adams Electric Cooperative, headquartered in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. Adams Electric Cooperative is a non-profit electric distribution company that distributes power from our substations to homes and businesses throughout the south central Pennsylvania region. While we're a small electric utility, we are the largest of the 13 cooperatives in the state of Pennsylvania. We have approximately 90 employees, and we've kept that employee level relatively stable over the past 20 years. And one of the reasons we've been able to do that is through the use of technology. I want to thank you for taking this tour with me this morning, and you'll see some of that technology in action. I'm standing in our 24-hour dispatch center, and I'd like to introduce you to our Vice President of Engineering, Scott Whaler.
I'm standing here in front of our map of our system. The system map is something that we use during storm activity, and you'll see us use this as a way of keeping track of our teams that are out in the field and keeping track of the outages that are occurring. We've moved over to our distribution automation system. It's a system that allows us to look at what's happening at our substations and other equipment that's out on the distribution lines. This view here is a substation where the energy comes through the highest side of the substation, through the transformer, through the voltage regulators, and heads out to two different circuits. From this screen we can look at the amount of load going through the substation, make sure the voltage is okay at the substation bus, and we can operate switches that are located on the low side of the station or on the high side of the station. So by operating these switches, we can reroute power during irregular conditions on the system, restoring power during outages and helping the flow of energy. This is a display of our circuit map. It's the same map that we saw on the wall just a few minutes ago. This is a display that dispatcher sitting here at the dispatch console might pull up on the computer to look at what has happened. Over the last 3 years, we've replaced every electric meter in our system. The type of meter that we've used is one that looks just like this. The unique thing about this, there's two unique things about this meter. One is that it's all solid state, no more electromechanical meters. And the second thing about this meter is it has a module in it that we can use to communicate with the meter from the office. Historically, our members have read their own meters, but over the last 3 years, we've replaced those meters with a type of meter that can be talked to from the office electronically. This is the module that sits inside the meter. And we're able to send a signal over the power line 3 times a day to talk to the meter, obtain its reading, and we can check on the health of the meter during certain outage conditions to find out whether power has been restored or whether power is out at that house. This is the cooperative's load control system. It was first installed in 1985 and has been used continuously since that time. We use it to control electric water heaters, air conditioners, and other controllable loads in members' homes. This display that we look at here right now shows each of our substations, and it shows our total system load right now is about 53 megawatts. During peak load conditions, we can reduce our load by about 10%. This is one of the old style switches that we installed back in the 80s, and they're still in service today. We're now moving forward with the replacement of that switch with a new design switch that looks something like this. It has more modern components and it is more reliable. The neat thing about this switch is we have the ability on the inside of the switch to add additional components that will allow us to talk to other appliances in the home as those capabilities become available. This is the heart of our dispatch center. Normally a dispatcher is sitting right here 24 hours a day answering telephone calls live. We can also answer calls live in our nearby call center, which is located in the room right next door. We answer calls live as much as possible, and if we can't take them live, we have a computer that answers the telephone. Weather is always an important issue with our business. We're always tracking the weather and trying to keep track of where storms might be affecting us. You can see today that a storm is coming in from the western part of our state of Pennsylvania, and it's going to be affecting us here in a few hours. We will track this weather through the day and keeping our linemen ready to respond to any outages that might occur because of the storms. We're in the cooperative's mechanical room in the headquarters building. I'm standing in front of 3 tanks that are ice storage tanks. We tried to use many off-peak technologies when we built this building. Many energy efficiency measures were used as well. We have efficient lighting, but we tried to use off-peak energy wherever we could. The ice storage system is a typical example of the off-peak technologies we used. We make ice during the nighttime hours, and during the daytime hours on hot days like today, we melt the ice and cool the building. The 3 tanks behind me are tanks that are full of water. They have about 2,000 gallons of water in each tank. We circulate a glycol solution through these tanks and use that to cool the building. In other parts of the building, we have off-peak heating systems being used. Electric thermal storage heating is being used in many of the offices throughout the building. We also control our peak loads during peak conditions. We can interrupt our water heater and bring on an emergency generator to reduce loads.
I'm standing in front of our pole yard, which is adjacent to our headquarters facility and directly behind our Gettysburg District office. And I'd like to introduce you to our Vice President of Operations, Ron Plank.
Hi, as you can see behind me is our Gettysburg pole yard. It's the largest yard that we have here of all 3 districts, and also you'll see some of the other material that we store inside of the fence here also. As you see behind me here, this is our underground training center. We were probably one of the first ones in the state to come up with anything as far as training folks in underground installation. Each year we have anywhere from 25 to 30 students that come from all the co-ops in the state, and they participate in 3 days worth of training here. Behind me you'll see one of our metering points here at the Gettysburg District. We have a combination of 23 metering points and substations across our system here. We cover 4 counties: Adams, Franklin, York, and Cumberland.
I want to thank you for taking time to watch this video tour of Adams Electric Cooperative. I hope you learned more about what the cooperative has to offer here in South Central Pennsylvania. For those of you wondering, your electric distribution provider in the state of Pennsylvania is dictated by geography, and it's where you live or where your business is located. So if you happen to be a member of Adams Electric Cooperative, I hope you enjoy your membership and the services that we provide you. And for those of you that aren't a member, maybe someday you will become a member if you move into our territory or relocate your business into our service territory. For more information about the cooperative, please feel free to visit our website at www.adamsec.coop. Thanks again.